take a look at the watch list, you will see that this range we're in is the range I'm wanting to break out of. That's what I'm wanting a breakout for. Breakout for calls, breakout for shorts. All right. Breakout calls are for longs or shorts or puts. Okay. You can see the same range right here. Now, let me get this over here. All righty. Breakout for calls or for longs at 24,986 on NQ or 607.6 on QQQ. Breakout for puts or for shorts at the failure of 24,960 on NQ or 606. Why did I put 607? Typo. Perhaps. Hold on. No, it's not. I just didn't draw it out. Still, though, that would be 607.08. Yeah. Okay, we're good. We're good. 607.04. Same thing. Same thing. All right. That's what I'm watching for, though. Break of this range, basically. I am expecting an aggressive move once we break it. Could happen in the pre-market. If it happens in the pre-market, I'm going to basically do what I did yesterday. I'll just enter right at the open as long as I see the volume is on our side. It takes about a second or two to read that volume and make that decision. So, all right. Going on the rest of the watch list here. Tesla. Breakout for calls around the 404 area. All right. I just want to be cautious of 402.80. It's a daily level. It could reject there. I don't want to try to take a breakout early and then I get caught in a rejection. So only going long if we can get up to 404. Then watching for a breakout for puts at the failure of the pre-market low. So that entry being roughly around that 398.80 range. All right. MU, I like the aggressive bounce we had and this nice push back up we've had. Continuation of the gap up in the pre-market. Looking for a breakout for calls around 393. All right. It should say 393.90 is what it should say. I want to take it around 393.90. So that's what I'm watching for. If we start to fail, if we just continue this type of downtrend in the pre-market session, we start to come back down, I'll look to go short right below that pre-market low at 388.4. That's where I'll look to go short at. Then AMD, same, very similar chart here. AMD, I like, same concept. Breakout for the upside, 202.57, my level right here for calls, or a breakout for puts at the failure of that pre-market low, 200.80. Same, both of these have the same setups. Meta does look strong, but I'm really worried about this range. I hate when it's below 657. You can see we rejected this 657 to 660 range many times. If we opened up at 657 or if we opened up at 660, I do like that for a breakout for calls if we open up there. But if we don't open up there, it's just going to make it that much harder for it to break through that level. So if the market does start to take off, I would like to see SPY and NVIDIA move with it today. So keep an eye on these two. Let's say you notice we take this breakout now, right? For NQ longs, right? Let's say we take it. And let's say this rips here to 25,010. All right. Well, actually, let's say it rips to here. That's that 4-hour level. It's a little bit off. 28. So let's say we come up to here at that's 40 points profit. And let's say you see it instantly reject. The second it taps that 4-hour level, let's say you see an instant pullback of like 10 points. So it pulls back from 41 all the way down here to 31 in a second. What I want you to do is at that moment, look at SPY, look at NVIDIA. If NVIDIA is also rejecting very hard and SPY is also rejecting very hard, take one more second, go look at the volume, look at that order flow. Are you seeing a large amount of orders come in on the opposite direction in the order book? If that's the case, get out. Get out of the trade. Sell the majority right there. It might not be the profit target you wanted. It might not be the profit percentage that you wanted. But if you're seeing your confluences are moving against you, you're seeing volume is moving against you, right? You're seeing a big push that's not supported by volume on your side. You're seeing volume come in on the other side. That is your sign, even if you're only 15% profit, that's your sign to sell the majority of your position, because that comes in turn with learning to read the volume and vice versa. Just like if I saw the opposite, if I see NVIDIA and SPY holding strong, I don't see any type of rejection, and I'm still seeing strong volume in support of my move, I only trim a little bit of the trade, a quarter, right? I only trim a quarter of the trade. Let that thing keep pushing. Let it work. But that's kind of how you want to treat those trades. You can't just blindly say, oh, I'm in because it's green, and I'm just going to trim where I can trim regardless of what happens. You want to learn to start reading that volume. So, all right. And remember, for those that are not trading in the pre-market, we can still wait for, we can just wait for it to break 25,010, or we can wait for a pullback to 986. We'll just watch and see what it does at the open. All right, let's get our broker unlocked and ready to go with our contracts loaded. All right, 400 calls, 380 puts. Just getting my contracts loaded. All right, and then Tesla. Yes, I'm aware. And again, make sure your broker is unlocked. I had a new student yesterday that joined, and they said, I missed the market open trade. My broker wasn't unlocked. And I was like, how? I said, make sure your brokers are unlocked before the market opened. Oh, I didn't hear you. Like, the amount of people that don't hear me. All right. Recording. All right, we got everything now. Okay, got 2 minutes. So I will say for today, again, what we want to focus on, break of the range on QQQ. If we can hold 986, like if we open up where we're at right now, I'll either look to take an entry at 25,010, or if it bounces 986, if we just sell straight through, I'll look to take my short entry at 960 or 607.08. Okay. Tesla's far from both levels, so there's no rush there. Again, breakout down here for puts, breakout up there for calls. MU is sadly pushing through. 393.9 was going to be my level. MU might have to be a breakout right at the open. Same with AMD here. These all are priming themselves for calls, so we will see. I have my QQQ calls ready, MU and AMD also. If Tesla starts to come up quick, I'll have to switch to that. You could do the 609 calls as well. 608 calls might be a little bit expensive, so definitely check the price at the open. All right, here we go. QQQ calls. Phil is I'm already taking a trim. Take your first trim right here. Phil's at $260 a contract, all the way up to $3 a contract, guys. That absolutely flew. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Stop loss is going to be at entry here. Beautiful push, guys. Right out the gate. Right out the gate. Taking that second trim. $335 a contract. Well, a little slow on the fill there. A little bit slow. Okay, $340 a contract on the fill. It just filled that second trim for me. Wow, that took forever. I don't know if anyone else lagged a little bit there on Webull. A little bit of a lag. It's okay. It's in our favor. Stop loss is now at entry. Absolutely gorgeous trade here, guys. Majority out of this position. I'm majority out of the position. Not trying to mess with this too much today. Beautiful. Beautiful. The reason we're majority out is simply because of that 4-hour level. That's why. Gorgeous. All right, we have to hold 25,028. We have to. Again, you should be majority out of the trade. The reason being, SPY and NVIDIA both rejecting that level. This is textbook what I was talking about in the pre-market session. Just to be safe, and we're shooting for 100 points next. You can trim at 72. If you want to be safe, you can trim at 72 points up here at my 4-hour key level order block. I'll probably trim a little bit up there as well, just to be safe also. And then I'll go for 100. Right? 2 minutes in a market open. Again, 2 minutes in a market open. No, it shouldn't have taken you 2 seconds to fill. It took me a while to trim is what it took. The second trim took, it lagged for a full second. It lagged. There's that third trim. If you want to trim on futures, I would trim up here. I'm skipping this trim on options. Contracts didn't move that much more. But on futures, I would trim again up there. 72 points profit. Out the gate. Right out the gate. Gorgeous. Executed our game plan perfectly. Now we're going for 100 points profit. Again, I'm expecting a pullback at some point. Contracts have gone from 260 all the way up to 360 a contract. So really solid trade. So still going strong on MU. If you're still holding MU, I don't think many of you would be in this. It has just now hit 100 points profit, or I'm sorry, 100% profit on MU. But also that would have been very difficult, right? You would have had to have entered right at the open, and you would need to have been willing to have paid $1,000 a contract. So I don't know if any of you would have realistically done that. But really good move there regardless. AMD moved well. Also, I don't know what the contracts did. I didn't trade it, and nobody replied to me. So I don't know if anyone actually traded that as well. All right. So really solid trades today. I am glad looking back at this V-shaped recovery. I'm glad I didn't trade this because it looks clean after the fact, but in the moment, like you guys saw, really hard to trade that price action, right? That price action right there is really hard to trade. So it's good job holding off there. Okay. All right, guys. Y'all have a blessed one. I will see you guys